Hi, I'm Sarah, and welcome to another episode or installment in Crochet This Book by me and Mariah Elizabeth. This is where I crochet the prompts of this book. This is a long time in coming. The items have actually been finished for months, but I have just taken forever to actually get around to recording these videos. So hopefully you can forgive me and still enjoy everything going on. I do think I may have mentioned in the very first video that I may be very bad at actually doing this, and that may have been the only video. And these may be the only 2 videos. Who knows if I will keep going on with this. Let me know if there's any interest in people actually seeing this. At the end, if you stick around, I will spend far more time rambling and talking about many things. But let's go ahead and see what I managed to create this time. It is time for the next prompt. My random number generator gave me the number 24. So the next prompt will be create letters. Fill this page with letters. Use them for aesthetic value rather than writing words. So I guess this means I get to crochet letters. I'll have to think about how best to do this, and I will let you know where I go from here. So I've been thinking about the best way for me to crochet letters. My very first thought was to do like a baby block and in flat crochet, like I just finished doing, do letters within the crochet and then sew it together as a baby block, like you see with the letters on the sides. But that seemed kind of obvious in some ways, and not as much of a challenge as maybe just trying to crochet physical letter shapes, especially since it was for the aesthetic value rather than for the words. Maybe I'll even try in different types of yarn, different letters, but we will see how this goes. I will keep you updated. To fulfill this prompt, I ended up first in Bernat Blanket, making an S for Sarah, my name. Then I made an F out of Just Chenille, often known as the Dollar Tree yarn. Originally I was going to make an E, but after the first 2 parts I decided to stop there at the F. And lastly, I made an I out of this fun rainbow yarn. It's a big twist yarn. They have a lot of fun pride flag colors, and this happens to be the rainbow one, but they have a whole nice line of various variegated yarns in pride flag colors. This particular prompt was not super inspiring to me. I usually donate my crocheted creations to kids at Christmas, especially the little plush animals. And because these are not very donatable after the 3 letters, I went ahead and stopped there. But these were finished, I believe, around June 18th of this year. But that was the Create Letters prompt for my Create This Book or Crochet This Book. The next prompt, based on my randomly generated number, is create a pet. Make this page into a pet. Don't forget to give it a name. So I will have to crochet a pet. The create has definitely given me a few ideas. I think I am going to Franken a pet, and I will talk a little bit more about what that means and make myself a pet. As soon as I saw the word create for create a pet, the very first thing I thought of was a Frankenpattern. They're two wonderful creators here on YouTube. I will link their channels down below. Complicated Knots and Skein Spider. Both of them are Aussie crocheters, and they have had collaborations where they have made what they call Frankenpatterns. They've done this in a couple of different ways, but my favorite is when they have kind of made wheels of various body parts and spun the wheels to kind of have the wheels decide how they are going to end up assembling a creature. So I think I'm going to make some various wheels of body parts, like a wheel for different arms, a wheel for legs, maybe some kind of feature like stripes or spots, maybe the eyes, mouth, things like that. I will make some different wheels, spin them, have it decide how exactly this creature is going to end up, and then out of whatever ends up, I will take those parts and pieces, crochet them, and put them together, and that will create my pet for this prompt. So, for the Create a Pet, as I mentioned, I ended up doing a Frankenpattern where I spun a wheel for some various parts of the little guy. I ended up getting 4 legs, short arms, a belly patch, a bobtail, fangs, tusks, and little black eyes. And this is how he turned out. His 4 little bobble legs, his bobtail, fluffy like a bunny, his 2 little short arms, his belly patch, his fangs, his little black eyes. And then because fangs and tusks didn't really seem like they would work out together, his tusks that I crocheted ended up being put in as horns. But this is my little Frankenbeast that I created as a pet. So, funny little guy. Now that I think about it, it says don't forget to give him a name. And I definitely forgot to give him a name. So on the spot, he is Steve. This is Steve. Steve is the little pet here. So Steve happens to have been finished on July 1st, 2024. And so that was the 5th prompt I finished for Crochet This Book. The last prompt for this video from the random number generator came at 144. Create an adventure. Go for a walk, outside or indoors. Document your adventure. There's a lot of things that I could certainly do for this. I do have a visitor coming soon, so we will possibly do something with her and take some pictures along the way and maybe use that for some inspiration for whatever I end up crocheting. So at the particular point in time when I did this prompt, my mom was visiting. It was just before the 4th of July. I had taken some time off. We have use it or lose it PTO. So I was burning some of that PTO and she had come down to visit. And so one of the things we decided to do was go visit the zoo in town. And so I had taken pictures while I was there, and one of my favorites ended up being of the red panda. I will insert some pictures here. And so I ended up crocheting a red panda, and that is what I did, and you will see the finished product in just a minute. And for the last prompt in this video, the create an adventure prompt, my mom and I, when she was visiting, ended up going to the zoo here in town, and one of my favorite animals at the zoo is the red panda. So I made this cute, adorable little red panda. This pattern is not my own. This pattern is from a wonderful crocheter here on YouTube called Complicated Knots. I have already linked her YouTube channel below because of the Frankenpattern, but I will link the exact video for this particular red panda pattern below. But so this is my little red panda inspired by my adventure at the zoo. And he was finished on July 2nd, 2024. And that is the final prompt for this episode of Crochet This Book. So this was the second and possibly the last installment of Crochet This Book. As a recap, I created letters, first the S, then the F, and then the I out of 3 different types of yarns. And then I created a pet. I made little Steve here using the Frankenpattern method, where I had various types of parts of him selected randomly, and then free-handed them all to make him up. And then lastly, I went on an adventure. I went to the zoo, and then based on that trip to the zoo, I ended up making my little red panda here. Again, this pattern is by Complicated Knots. I will link the video to the pattern down below so that you can make one too. The pattern is actually for a rainbow panda. She has it done in all different kinds of colors, but I did do mine in the traditional red panda colors to match what I saw at the zoo. As I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, figured I'd use some time here at the end to ramble on just a little bit, kind of about what's been going on. Like I said, these were all crocheted months ago. I just took a very long time to get around to actually making the videos. Some of it was because my mom was visiting. All this stuff had been put away for the videos. Didn't really have time to do any of that. Some of it was just life was busy. Other thing is, to be quite truthful, have not crocheted in almost 2 months. Things had just gotten busy. Life had just kind of gotten crazy. I also got sick. And so things just have been a little bit crazy. I also have gotten into some other types of crafts and art. I started watercoloring kind of for fun and did some reverse coloring books. I've gotten a whole lot of other crafts or art supplies that I kind of want to try out. In a couple days, October starts, and I am going to try to do Inktober just for fun. I am not actually much of an artist. I definitely consider myself far more of a crafter than an artist, but I just want to give it a try just for myself more than anything, though I probably will be putting up a few videos, either weekly videos or maybe just an end of the month video at the end of October, kind of recapping everything that I did for Inktober. But If anybody is actually watching this, kind of curious what people would be interested in seeing, if you are interested in me continuing with Crochet This Book, I have already run some more of the random number generator, so I do have more prompts already picked out, so I could continue on with that. Even though I haven't crocheted any of them, I do have the next several prompts drawn, selected to continue with that. If you are interested in seeing other things that I have crocheted, if you're interested in seeing yarn hauls and all of the yarn that I have, or yarn organization because it is a mess right now, or some of my other arts and crafts, the watercolor or the reverse coloring book. I did also get Create This Book 2. Although every single time I look at it, I am extremely intimidated, because while I am very comfortable with crochet, art is not my comfort area. Drawing is not my comfort area. I see all the other Create This Book stuff on YouTube, and I get so intimidated because I am not an artist, and it just makes me think that I am not good enough. But yet I still want to kind of try it. So if you would be interested in seeing me try that, I do have Create This Book 2 to try. I mentioned that I have made all of these little plushies in order to donate them at Christmas time. There's a local charity that I donate them to that gives Christmas to kids and families in need. And in addition to the plushies, I also have been putting together arts and crafts kits. So if you'd be interested in seeing me putting together those arts and crafts kits, that's another thing that I could make videos on. If you had seen, I've been putting together a few videos on blind box unboxings. I do actually have a few more of those to videotape coming up here, mostly just because I enjoy it. I have a lot of eclectic things, eclectic interests. That's just me. And as I said, I'm not trying to become a YouTuber. I'm just doing this for me and because I enjoy it and because I kind of find it something interesting to do. And so if there is anything that you would be interested in seeing, let me know. But that's if anybody is actually watching this. Otherwise, I am just, as I kind of suspect, talking to myself right now. But otherwise, I do hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you are interested in seeing more Crochet This Book, let me know. I certainly could continue it if there are people out there that are interested in seeing it. Otherwise, I will probably just go back to crocheting my little beasties for the kids. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.